Hey, everybody. I am coming at you from Costa Rica. Number one, thanks for being on this channel. This is your first video. I have lots of videos about moving to Costa Rica, kind of everything you need to know about Costa Rica, moving abroad, you're going to find here. So I hope that you'll find it helpful. I'm just really paranoid that this microphone is going to turn off mid-video and then I'm going to have to do it all over again. So I'm probably going to check to make sure it's on every once in a while. It's on the charger. It doesn't want to hold a charge. It won't charge in this box, but I haven't posted like anything other than podcast for a while. So I was like, I think it's time to come on and do like a life update. So if some of you are kind of new to this channel, I started this channel, I don't know, my daughter was in diapers and she's 8 years old now. So I started this channel a really long time ago. Never thought anyone was honestly going to watch it. So, oh my God, my dog's on the couch. Chili, Waro, get down off the couch. I have 3 dogs. One of them, Chiliwaro, is named after my favorite drink. Don't be on the couch. That's not what we're doing. So yeah, I started this channel years ago, never thinking that anyone would honestly even watch the videos. Okay, I'm like so paranoid. Even like starting a YouTube channel for me just was kind of a strange idea. I guess I never even thought about doing it. I'm obviously not the best with social media. I know you guys see me very present on social media. So sometimes actually making content can be kind of difficult for me. It's hard for me to sometimes keep up that motivation. Thank God I have so much out there that I know has been kind of coasting me through these months. We have the podcast episodes that are going up. But sometimes it can just be a struggle. On top of, I feel like for making content, I want to be in a certain headspace in order to do it. So today I'm closing myself in my house in order to make sure that I get this done, because I have a lot more information and other tips and updated information that I do want to be sharing with you guys. But if any of you are business owners or, everybody works, sometimes you can get really caught up in the day-to-day life of business and imagine that it's been very busy. So these months we've definitely had a surge again for reasons you can probably imagine. I don't like to get into politics on this page. So it's been very busy. Thank goodness I have an amazing team. So today's video is just kind of more like a life update of where things have been for the past 6 months, because I feel like anyways, I haven't been that present. Also, a lot of the content that I do post is just kind of things about Costa Rica. Maybe I haven't shared, maybe in the podcast I share a little bit more about my day-to-day life. So I do like to kind of share that day-to-day life with you guys as well. That's something that I did a lot early on. It was really just, let me take you around my day-to-day life in Costa Rica. Now, I guess I wish I had more exciting stuff to share with you on a day-to-day, but I live kind of like a normal human. Wake up, work, work out, take care of my daughter, go to bed. But I have done some really fun things over the last 6 months. So I definitely do want to share about a little bit of just kind of personal things that have been going on, business things that have been going on, kind of what the future looks like as of now, although you never know. And yeah, so number one, I do just want to thank you guys for being here. I know some of you have been watching for a really long time. Sorry, I can't tell if I have somebody coming over or not. I know a lot of you guys have been here for a long time, so I really do appreciate you, being here, and even the ones that are new. So thanks for, checking out the content. I really do hope it's been helpful for you. I try to keep things very just like simple, straightforward, informational. I like to get to the point. So without further ado, I guess I'll get to the point here too. So let's see, last 6 months. Number one, I've done some more travels. So actually I just got back from Colombia. It was super great. Loved Colombia. I've been to Colombia twice now. I went to Colombia about a year ago, last May, and I went to Colombia again. This time I went to Guatapé and Medellin. So one thing I guess about moving and traveling, and when I moved to Costa Rica, my idea was kind of that Costa Rica might have been the start of my travels, the start of it all. I moved at 23 years old. I really didn't have much money. I kind of did everything, the wrong way. So now that I've, established myself more in life now, and as an adult, my daughter's older. I actually took her on this trip to Colombia as well. Also went with another friend. So some of you guys follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Maybe you saw some stories. It was a blast. So really, I highly recommend, going. We had an amazing driver who toured us around. We went to Guatapé. So they have like this big rock that you can climb up. I'll show you some pictures here. Went to Medellin, went to this place called Comuna 13. It was really educational. I want to go back because, you know, as I said, I brought my 8-year-old daughter. All the walking for her was a little much. When I go on vacation, I'm very go, go, go. I'm like, let's go do this. Let's go do that. So she was really exhausted. So I would like to go back and do some more like the historical tours and things like that. So kind of the boring things that maybe she's not going to like. So Colombia was a blast. Panama. So Panama is another big thing. So some of you know already. I haven't made the official announcement, or maybe by now you see this video, maybe it has come out. Panama. I'm going to be starting business in Panama. So actually, we've already technically started. We already have one client that we're working with for their move to Panama. We just designed their scouting trip. So I've already formed all my contacts down there. I've been down to visit. I'm going to be planning another trip down. Sorry. The thing about expanding business to Panama is that for Costa Rica, we have a really good system that works for any timeline, that it just works. I mean, honestly, things have been so smooth. Even with the surge of people, I feel things have just gone really smooth. Things have been going very well. And we have a very good, solid system in place and how we guide people with their one-on-one move. And so for me, I think Panama is a great country. I think no country's perfect. Costa Rica is not perfect. Nowhere's perfect. But I do think it's a good country that if someone does move there, overall, they're going to have a good experience. And I like Panama a lot. So I am looking forward to going down to visit more. So I did do some trips to Panama. I am planning to go back soon to film some content, get to know some neighborhoods better. The thing is, with the Panama expansion, I'm never going to claim to be an expert on Panama. I'm not. What I am really good at is I'm very good at creating systems and replicating them. I'm good at vetting contacts. I'm good at making personal relations. My dog's looking at something. I'm also a very distracted person. So I'm good at creating the systems, and we already have such a good, tight system for Costa Rica that's been working and that we're always improving. It's literally just replicating that for Panama. And then in terms of banking and insurance and residency, one can learn that. I've already learned all those things. I do have a head of Panama who's going to be, mainly working in the Panama section of the business. And, we have someone that's going to be there for kind of the nitty gritty when it comes down to particular neighborhoods or really knowing some of the ins and outs. So that's a really exciting venture. Again, maybe by the time this is posted, maybe I've already made that announcement because we've been working on the Panama launch. Very excited about it. Like I said, already working with someone. It really spurred out of, whenever I do talk to people, they're not always just thinking about Costa Rica. I've got a lot of questions like, oh, do you help in Panama too? Do you help in Panama too? So now that things have just been going so smooth for Costa Rica in general, and I've had extra time, I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's take some things off the plate and add more on. So if anyone knows me personally, I dream of a life of relaxing and probably not doing anything, but I will never do that. I'm very active. The moment I start taking things off my plate is the moment start going on. But that's fun. That's why I like business. That's why I like what I do, is that I can have these ideas and be able to implement them. I don't have someone telling me, no, we can't do that. Got to talk to the other department. It's like, so yeah. So that's an exciting venture that I'm really stoked about. So yeah, it's just the travels and adventures where, Panama, Colombia. Last year I went to Guatemala, went to El Salvador, did Colombia again. So what would be next, I guess, would be going back to Panama some more. I guess before I plan a fun trip elsewhere, I need to get back there and do some business things. I would love to go back to Medellin. I'd love to go to Peru one day, but I feel like that deserves at least 2 weeks. So that'll be like a more complicated trip. But yeah, those are for travels. One of my dreams of moving down here was being able to travel. Good, it's still on. One of my dreams was being able to travel. So now I'm in a space, I can do that, and it's been really exciting. And I love getting to go to other, Latin American countries. The nice thing is being able to speak Spanish really does help with that too. It makes me feel a lot more comfortable. So yeah, it's been awesome. In terms of just like, I guess, home life, I finished this house, a year and a half ago, like almost, I guess, more than a year and a half ago. Fully settled in, no more home projects going on. Everything's kind of just the way I want it. It's really peaceful. I love where I live. I still have my 3 dogs. I have my cat. Love my neighborhood. I have amazing friends. I have a very little tight-knit friend group, and that's been, a total blessing. Daughter's doing great. School stuff, parenting, still single parenting. Some of you know I was engaged for a bit, but that ended, so it's fine. Such is life. I haven't had the best luck with that here But no, I'm really happy. Everything's been really good in that aspect, and I've always nurtured my friendships a lot. And this year has been definitely a lot about just working on my health, working on my balance, exercising as much as I can. I kind of had an incident almost a year ago that I got nerve damage down my leg, so that put a damper on things for a while. But I can't say I'm fully recovered from it because I have numbness and I've lost sensation and kind of some large parts of my leg, but I can still function normally and do everything that I used to do before. So, yay! I go to the gym a few times a week, so that's been helping. I got the strength back in that leg, I think, and we're good. But maybe the sensation won't come back. That's okay. I think it was a sciatic nerve thing. The thing about, I guess living in Costa Rica, a lot of people do move down here to be healthier. I go through waves, and we're all a work in progress, right? So I think Costa Rica is an amazing place if you want to be in good health, if you want to be more active, if you want to eat healthy. All that's definitely available here, but it definitely still does require, someone putting the work in. And in the past, I've just been very busy with work or just life things come up. And now with all these travels, I honestly have done a lot of travels within this last 6 months to 9 months. So, also going up to San Jose for the podcast. So it's been just kind of trying to find that balance between being home in a routine, but then also, being able to travel or sometimes get knocked off my routine, but be able to get back into it. So that's always a fun work in progress, I would say. In terms of business, so I talked a little bit about that. So we have the Panama expansion. The things in Costa Rica are running really well. Like I said, this is one of your first videos, then we do one-on-one services for people relocating. Scouting trips are a huge one. I got the DIY course. We do the retreats, so I'll talk about the retreats as well. I do have, I forgot that. I've never actually announced it on here before because I haven't needed to. I have some car rentals too. So with the same business partner that I built that house for sale, we have some car rentals. So I have 4 car rentals. I just haven't ever had to advertise. We rent them out through people that are coming on scouting trips or just people that ask. So that's been really cool. That so far, that took some time to set up and kind of make those systems. And now that just kind of runs on its own, which is great. So yay, car rentals. Well, I guess if you guys need a car rental, you can shoot me an email. I'd be happy to. We try to go lower than the agency prices. I still have to get, a lot of you guys know that I work with Jairo. He works with Alamo, the car rentals, Costa Rica and USA. I don't have enough cars to supply the amount of people that I have who ask. So I'm always referring to him too. But just sometimes the agencies can get really expensive. So we try to provide nice, newer cars, but still at a good price. So that was another kind of fun business to set up that I guess I never mentioned to anyone that I was even doing. I guess we got the first car rental was last September. And then the other one's January. So yeah, 4 cars. Got a sedan, Suzuki Grand Vitara, and 2 Suzuki Jimneys, the 5-door ones, brand new. So those are really fun. I just had to pick up a Jimny this morning, or I brought it over, and I guess it'll go back out in a few days. One of them's rented out for months at this point. So I do try to do longer term rentals on those cars as well. So yeah, that's really fun. Then we have the podcast. So the podcast with Jairo has been going super well. I love going up there. I love filming. I love hanging out with him. We're kind of getting a little bit more creative with the type of content that we're doing on the podcast, but I think it's been really fun. And thank God I've had the podcast, because if not, I feel like I wouldn't have posted anything in here for 4 months. Like I said, it's just been busy. It's hard to carve the time. In order to film content, I really just need to be in a particular mind space. And then when I hop on my computer, this last Wednesday, I wanted to do this video and a few others. Hopped on my computer, I got a phone call. And then before I knew it, it was okay, time's up. Now I don't have time to do it. So that's why it has been a little bit of a struggle, but I've offloaded some more things. So I should be more consistent on here and getting videos out and all that stuff, especially with the Panama things coming up. Got to get it back out there. But thank you to the podcast that, the channel's still been moving for sure. And the retreats. So obviously a lot of you guys will follow my channel. A lot of you have also followed Michael Allen's channel. So I'm guessing most of you did hear about the news about him. I had some people commenting on, I don't know if it was my videos or some other ones, oh, Sarah didn't say anything about his passing and yada, yada, and how weird. And, for me, Michael Allen and I were very close. Obviously we worked together, but we were also friends. So that was a huge, that was a really huge hit. And everyone deals with death differently, And And I don't feel like I need to justify myself in that. You know, I did make a post on Facebook. I put something on Instagram. But at that time, like for me personally, and this is just my views, I didn't think it would be appropriate for me to come onto YouTube and start talking about his death right away. Like, if you all are on YouTube, you're going to find out what happened. I didn't want to make it about me, you know, like, and I'm also just processing my own emotions. But, and again, it's okay if other people did that. Like, that's totally their thing, and I respect that, and that's fine. But me as my own person, like, him passing away was such a huge thing. Well, huge thing for me, huge thing for everyone who loved him, huge thing for so many people who loved him so much that never actually, you know, met him, but felt connected to him through the videos. You know, I imagine some of you feel that connection with me. A lot of you felt that connection with him. So for me to feel like I'm just going to hop on YouTube and start, I just didn't want to make it about myself. His death was not about me. So it's about, people can process in their own way. I'm sure they've heard the news in their own way. I was processing in my own way. And so the last thing I really felt was appropriate to do was to come on YouTube and talk about it at that time. So now I guess it's been, I don't know, a month and a half or so. So that's why I did want to mention it in this video. It's not that I don't care. It's that for me, I didn't want to post a video for views of people seeing it, you know? For me, that's just not super genuine. And now I'm talking about it in my own time. You know, we did do an episode commemorating him in our podcast as well. You know, Heido was also really close with him. I know there's been some things going on with that channel and everything, and that's been a shame. I mean, if anyone has questions about it, you can definitely feel free to email me. I've always been a very transparent person. I always, you know, if anyone ever has questions about anything that was said or not said, you know, I always keep records of everything, pretty much everything that I do at this point in general. So always happy to share, but that's just something that I guess is going to get sorted out between them. My, you know, position in that was whenever the retreat came, you know, Micah just passed very shortly before the retreat. And of course, I'm just, how am I going to tell the news to the guests? You know, I had to worry about how am I going to inform them? I didn't want them to be caught by surprise when they arrived. It caught me by surprise. I was actually supposed to see, the last message I sent to Mike was, well, I knew that he didn't want to see anyone. Well, I had a feeling, you know, I was in communications. I kind of knew what was going on, not until the very, very end. And, you know, I had messaged him like, hey, I'm going to be up there Monday. I would love to swing by, you know, and obviously Monday didn't come. We didn't have that much time. But I never did get a response. And, you know, obviously I know why. And, man, you just never, it was just so fast. Yeah. So not having him at the retreat was really hard, but I feel like we celebrated him that week and it was so beautiful. And we had such an amazing group. It's like every time we have a retreat, I'm like, oh my gosh, can this group get any better? Like, so it still ended up being an absolute beautiful week. I do a lot of the prep work anyways in terms of the retreat. So I did have, everything was in order. It was just kind of time to show up and make the best out of the week, which we did. Someone had a wedding. We made a wedding for someone. I mean, it was just so cool watching everyone's relationships form so closely. It was really beautiful. So definitely looking forward to having another retreat. I started these retreats. I mean, you can find it on my channel. It was almost 5 years ago. So I started these by myself, took in co-hosts, dropped one co-host. If you guys remember all that drama, that was a mess. And then unfortunately Mike has passed. So I'm not really sure like what's going on with the future with all of that. Again, that's really not my business. You know, Mike and I decided to team up at that time because that's what we wanted to do together. Again, these were things that I had done before already on my own. I don't know. All I want to do is just like live in peace and maintain professionalism and provide a good experience to people. So I do plan on continuing the retreats in one way or another. We'll figure it out. Another idea that I do have, which I'm actually pretty excited about, because I know not all people can come to, you know, a whole week. I get it. It costs money. It's time. There's a lot involved. So this is an idea in its baby stages, just like, you know, Panama was in its baby stage at one point too. Make sure my microphone's still on. Yay. Okay, we're still recording. Sorry. I'm so paranoid that I'm going to have to redo all this. It's in its baby stages, but I'm thinking about 3-day events. So like the retreats at one point were in their baby stages. Like this is what I like as about just kind of business in general, or when I have time to breathe and I'm not so in the nitty gritty of everything. I'm going to have to give a really big shout out to my employees soon because I wouldn't be able to do anything without them. Like the retreats came to me as an idea years ago. They were actually supposed to be a horseback riding retreat. So quick, fun background. Again, if you're here this long, I'm just babbling at this point. I just haven't really talked to you guys in forever. And sometimes I know I just share a bunch of information about Costa Rica, and but I am also a human. So, and I know some people do like to hear kind of what's going on in life via my platform. And sometimes I'm pretty private. So I'm going to work on, I guess, sharing a little bit more. Now I forgot where I was. And this is why I need to have bulleted points. So the retreat started from an idea. So before COVID, I was doing horse tours and I thought, oh my gosh, I want to do a horseback riding retreat. And so I got, I think, 7 people to sign up for this horseback riding retreat. I planned it out. This is going to be in Uvita. I had the horses, I had the hotel, I had the activities, I had the whole itinerary. I'd gotten people to actually pay me to come for the experience. The price was super good. I'm like, thanks for those people for trusting me, you know, because they didn't know me. I just started posting the retreats in these different horseback riding groups in like United States and Canada. And these people had agreed to come down, but then COVID hit. So then COVID came. Obviously, we're trying to figure out what's going on. So the retreat was supposed to be in April. And again, it was about horseback riding because horses are a big passion of mine. And so obviously, you know, we kind of were waiting what was going on. And then a few months later, I just ended up refunding everybody. But that was when the idea of the retreats came. I was like, you know, that's not that crazy of a thing to set up. I could do this. So I just like these little baby, I feel like I get these little kind of ideas, but then they come in their own timing. So the retreats kind of started that way as its own baby idea. Panama, you know, months ago, I was like, you know, I text Pablo. You guys have seen Pablo on my channel. He has a shipping company. He operates out of Panama, Costa Rica, Mexico. I mean, he's awesome. He's a good kind of business mentor for me. And we always chit chat business. Actually, we were on the phone last night and I always yell at him because I'm like, we only talk about business. And he's like, so how are your friends? Anyways, he's a business owner that I really do look up to in that way. And I guess me and him were talking and I was like, it's like, Pablo, what about Panama? You know, so that was a baby business. It was kind of a baby idea that's been growing. And so now it leads me to this next idea that I have in mind, that I will be starting. It's going to be these like 3-day events in San Jose. Probably 3 days. And then they're going to be different than the retreats because on the retreats, in a week experience, people make these bonds and you get these experiences that you just can't have in 3 days. Those are just really unique on their own. But I also understand that not everyone can take off that much time, or maybe, you know, the cost involved, whatever it might be. So the compliments that I've always really gotten on the retreats too are the information. They're like, the information has been invaluable. People have always been happy about the information as well as the other aspects. So I want to make a way to make that information a little bit more accessible in that type of setting. So I know that some people, online courses just don't work for them, or some people aren't really ready for a one-on-one program. Some people want to just be able to come down, shake hands, meet people. So my idea is to have the speakers. I know I kind of have an idea of, you'll see, it'll be a surprise, but people would get the same information, get to shake hands with the speakers. I still do want to create a level of like connection and intimacy between the people that are there, because I think like forming that camaraderie and those connections are just invaluable, like so invaluable. So I want to find a way to help facilitate that, even if it's just 3 days versus, 6 full days. I get that. So those are fun. That'll be a fun idea. Let me get through Panama first. Let's launch Panama, and then I will move on to that idea. And also what I like about that idea too is I have a lot of people who are always coming down on scouting trips. Kids from the school are yelling. So I have a lot of people come down on scouting trips, or a lot of people are just coming down in general. So if it's just 3 days, it's like you can come learn everything you need to move and then maybe continue on your trip, or come do a trip, go for the 3 days, or even people that are already here just kind of need an extra leg up. Like I've had people who've already moved even attend the retreats before. So that's not uncommon. So I'm excited about that idea. I just need time to work on it. And that time does come from, honestly, my employees. Like or I don't know, call team members. I feel weird like calling someone my employee. My team members are so amazing. I'm so blessed. Like I wouldn't be able to do anything without them. I know some of you maybe who are watching this have had the opportunity to work with them. I feel like that's been a good experience. I always get a lot of compliments about my team members. So Augustina, she's been with me the longest. She was my first hire, and we've been together ever since. So I don't know what I would do without her. She assists with, now she's doing scouting trip planning sessions. She's doing, she does the timeline of the kickoff calls. She offers general support. I mean, she's really just a superstar. She's really kind of like, I guess we call her the head of Costa Rica, that makes sure that logistics are fine, transportations, but everything's moving as it should. She's really like a mastermind and absolutely incredible. And, with her position, she started in admin and then she went to rentals. And then, so she's definitely one that I'm going to have to keep moving up over time. She's very ambitious. She's highly intelligent. I don't know what I'd do without her. So I have Augustina. Hopefully a lot of you guys have had the pleasure to work with her. And also supporting Augustina is Priscilla. So Priscilla just had a baby, woohoo. So she does a lot of our back end like research. A lot of you guys will be like, oh, like, are these prescriptions available? Or we need to set these appointments for us to see these schools, so Priscilla helps with a lot of that stuff. And she helps Augustina a lot with her load. And then we have Sonia, who's on rental search. She seems to really enjoy doing that because rentals are so complicated. I have people ask me all the time, like, oh, is there one website I can go to find a rental? I'm like, no, I wish there was. It's tough. So I have someone dedicated full time for that too. And then for Panama, our head of Panama is Taylor. We have some contacts down there as well that assist us with kind of, like I said, the nitty gritty inside on the groundwork. And I will be involved in Panama, I'm sure, for months until things get their flow, kind of just like Costa Rica. And I don't know. I don't think about anything expanding from there. Let's see. Panama is just going to be a good test expansion to see if we can expand the model and how it goes. But really, I wouldn't be able to do anything without them. Right now, Taylor helps me with my email. She helps me with my messages. As you guys can imagine, I get a little bit inundated sometimes, which is totally fine. I want to be able to get back to everybody as much as I can. But my main focus in, let's say, what we do is sales. So it's supposed to be content, but I'm not doing a good job at it. My poor social media lady is like, yeah, sorry, Katie, if you're watching this. She's just like trying to pull at anything. It's like pulling teeth for her to get stuff out of me, and I feel terrible about it. So I'm making an effort. But really, I just mostly focus on sales, which is good. And who knows? I don't know. I'm excited about the future, at least business-wise, health and wellness-wise. I'm excited. Home life-wise, I'm excited. I'm really happy about the life, that I've created here. I don't know what else to say about it. I just kind of wanted to come on, give you guys a life update. My parents were down in April, so that was super nice. We went up to Monteverde. Everything's good. I mean, I can't think of anything. Dogs are good. Child's good. Family's good. I'm just at a good part. So I guess I'm just going to ride that high of life for the moment that everything's going well. Because as you know, life can do a little bit of this. But I think everything's good. We're doing good. Obviously, because as you know, Mike's passing was a dip there. But spiritually, I don't know what your beliefs are, but I believe that people are always, he didn't go anywhere. So for me, when I have someone close to me that's passed away, I still know that they're there. I have faith in that, and yeah. So I have my own beliefs that make me feel a little bit better about it, for sure, at least. I guess that's it. So I guess the next videos you can expect more content on Panama, more content on Costa Rica, on anything that's changed. We're in our rainy season now. I love it. It's kind of rainy and cloudy today, so that's helping me stay in and film content and not go outside and be like, oh, what a nice day. Let me go take a very long walk. But yeah, I will keep you guys posted on how things go here in Costa Rica. I appreciate you sitting around if you made it to the end of this video. Thank you for hanging around so long on it. I said I'm going to try to do what I can to share, maybe more daily life videos. I'm just not one of those people. I just struggle with social media, to be honest. And I know that can be surprising for some people because I'm present. It seems like I'm doing well on there. Last July, I hired an agency, this girl who does all that now. Because I don't know. I'm just not a social media person. I'm like the last social media person that should be on social media. But I'm going to put in the effort because I do like to share. I just have to be in the right headspace. And so I'm going to work on it. So I'll be definitely sharing a little bit more about life, more about Costa Rica, more about our plans for Panama, more about new fun business ideas. Who knows if they work, if they don't, whatever. That's why I like it. It's all trial and error. And yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging in this long if you have so far. Thanks for listening to me babble. If you have any questions, you can email me. Obviously, there's information about relocation on my website. You can find stuff in the links below. And I do have the Panama website up now. I'm making some changes to it. It's RelocateNowPanama.com. And then I did change. My original branding was under the LostAirlana.com. Now that, if you put that in whatever your browser, it'll reroute to RelocateNowCostaRica.com. So yeah, I even got the website stuff rerouted over, and yeah, let's do it. Well, maybe in 6 months I'll be back for another life update. And I appreciate you again. I totally appreciate you guys following. Like I said, when I started this channel, never in my wildest dreams that it was going to turn into this. Really, really happy about it. It's kind of hard to imagine. There's like 18,000 some people on here. So thank you for trusting my information. For those of you that maybe, feel like you know me here through the videos, but we just haven't met in person. Again, I really do appreciate your support. And yeah, well, I guess that's it. That's all I have to say. I think I babbled enough.